Yo, what up, Goons? It's your boy BC, and welcome back to another episode of the Bate Escape podcast. The podcast dedicated to all things solo sexuality and goon culture. Yo, what's up? What's going on? It is still the month of June. It is still officially Pride Month, and I hope that you've been enjoying yourself and doing really gay things and celebrating and having a gay old time. I'm so happy that you're back listening to another podcast episode of the Bait Escape because in today's episode, I sit and chat with the Leather Cook, who is a friend of the pod. They've been on the pod a couple of years ago, and I invited them back because I wanted to know what was new in their life and all the cool things that they're working on. And we talk a lot about cool things in this episode. We talk about his love of cooking and cookbooks, his love of traveling, his love of tarot cards and tarot readings, and other really cool, fun stuff. So I hope that you enjoy this episode. You can listen to it everywhere you pod, or you can certainly watch it on YouTube, however you choose to enjoy this podcast. I hope that you love it. As a reminder, I hope that you like, follow, share, comment, subscribe. It really helps with visibility on this podcast. And I thank you so much. And I hope that you are being great and continue to be amazing. Go follow me on all my socials. It's under Beastly Bader. Um, yeah. And enjoy the episode. No, I'm glad we got that situated for you.
Yes, I came prepared because I knew that this might be an issue. Um,
But the audio?
because with the audio, because you know what, I just replaced this microphone. This is a brand new microphone,
Mm-hmm.
and for some reason, it's I always have audio issues for some reason.
Yeah.
I
I don't
don't
know,
know why that
man.
is. Yeah,
I don't know why that is either. You get the thing, you connect it to the computer, and you're just hoping that it all kind of figures itself out.
exactly.
I
And then
feel like we're there already. Like Apple does it
we're,
really well. I feel like,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
as a product. I knew you're gonna have your titties out, so I wanted to have my titties out. I was like, this guy's gonna come out here if I damn near naked on this podcast. Hey, thanks for coming back. For those listening, I have the Leather Cook on the podcast today, and the Leather Cook has been on the pod once before.
Yes.
Can't remember when that was. I feel like it was a very long time ago.
It has been almost 2 years. Nearly
Wow.
nearly 2 years. I think it was June or July of 2023 that I was on.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
I'm glad you know that. Because
So
I,
so a
I
lot
had no
has changed.
clue. Yes, I feel like so much has changed. And we're here to catch up. So
Yes.
go follow the Leather Cook on all his socials. You'll see lots of titties out while he makes a hearty cup of joe and bakes a pie. I feel like you're the whole
Exactly.
package, dude.
I
You're just
appreciate that.
giving cakes to the boys and the girls and the they and
Right.
thems. Everybody.
Exactly. Yeah. And teaching them how they can make their own cake and share their own cakes, you know?
Teaches them how to be a good boy while making a good cake.
Exactly. Exactly.
What's been going on? Fill me in. Like what's new with you?
Oh my God. I don't even know where to start. Like, I'm wondering whether I should start from our last podcast.
Let's
Does
start
that
with the
make
sexy
sense?
stuff. Were you fucking me saying? Okay.
Well, we can start with the sexy stuff.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
because last time I was on,
Hmm.
I was at this point in my life where I was like debating on starting like a dress for fans and, kind of like wanting to explore that side of things.
Yeah.
And I would say, a few months after our last podcast, I took the plunge and I decided to do it.
Mhm.
And I had spent more than a year, probably 2 years, before I started putting things up of recording myself and kind of just, I have a whole backlog. I have terabytes of backlog, but kind of just getting, playing around with the camera. Like it's really interesting what happens to your sex or your bait just having a camera there. Like, did you
Mhm.
feel that like when record yourself, like when you started recording yourself, like did you notice like a different energy or a different feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely more attuned to what I was doing because I had myself to look at. Yeah, so I could really kind of study my body and start to recognize like certain shapes and lines, which is really interesting
Hmm.
to me. Um, but yeah, just kind of fall in love and more with like the things that I own on my own body. The energy
Yeah.
did shift.
Yes. Yeah.
Hmm.
And it took me, it was like a hurdle for me to reveal the things that I was doing naturally, like without the camera. Like there was this like timid part of me that came back out that I thought was like really interesting. And I felt like
Hmm.
that was a point for me. I'm always like trying to expand. And
Yeah.
like when I notice inner conflict, I'm like, let's investigate that. Like what's going on here? And I was very appreciative of that kind of like recognizing those feelings and trying to, basically unpack societal shame around
Hmm.
sex and around pleasure. And I feel
Hmm.
like where I am now with what I'm doing is it's kind of just an embrace of pleasure because I feel like all my life I had guilt around pleasure, and I would have an orgasm and then I would feel really guilty and existential and, very volatile. And now I'm just like, that was
Yeah.
great. Let's go for another one. But it's
Yeah.
like it's really interesting that transformation, and I'm hoping to help other guys, kind of dispel that shame, and get rid of that shame from their sexes, like
Hmm.
this is a natural part of being a human, is like
Yeah.
enjoying our body, enjoying each other's bodies.
Yes, I do know.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. No, I love it. I love seeing your progression. I feel like you've gotten really a good hang of like your admiration and love of like all things leather, hence the leather
Hmm.
cook. But I feel like that's gotten a lot deeper in you and it's really cool to see it manifest like on social media. And I think that's like one of the pros of social media, like with anybody, anybody that you follow or your friends, like
Yes.
it's nice to have like that timeline of like, oh, look where they started, look where they are. It's wonderful to see it. I love
Yes.
watching my friends succeed.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Hmm.
I was reflecting on that today just because I feel like where I am, in preparation for this talk, like
Hmm.
where I am now is like what I had envisioned, let's say 5 years ago, just like becoming more comfortable with myself, with my body, with my sexuality and how I express myself. Like I feel like I've made great strides, and social media and the internet in general has provided the medium for me to do that.
Hmm. Yeah. No, it's nice. It's nice to be able to communicate like your truth and the things that you're passionate to the world and like have that audience
Hmm.
respond to you. It's nice. It's very
Yeah, and
nice.
I would say like I've been really honored and surprised by the reception that I've
Mm.
received, like,
Hmm.
because I'm not doing thing like I think what I'm doing is quite unconventional. Um, and I think that
Yeah,
people
I don't think I've ever
appreciate
seen
that.
it
It's
before.
it's something, yeah. So
Yeah. You have this hot
that
leather
makes me
daddy with
feel
his titties
even more
out
comfortable.
making me an apple pie.
Right.
I'm gonna watch. I'm invested. I'm invested one because the titties look amazing, and then I'm invested two because I really want to know if this pie is delicious. Like, is he just fucking with me? Like, is this just all just like like a show, or is he really teaching me something that I could
Right.
genuinely enjoy at the table?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So we we already know people come for the looks. How are you? How do you know that the content is good by the food? Are you eating that stuff after you make it?
Of course. Yeah. No, like
Okay.
when it's a dessert, I
Hmm.
typically will call up some friends and be like, "Hey, I have some pie. I have something," and
Yeah.
just drop it off at their house or like have them come over for coffee. So I typically, when it comes to the desserts, don't eat all of it.
Uh-huh.
But when it comes to the non-desserts, like the dinners and things like that typically
Yeah.
is like the food I'm eating for the week. Um,
Got it.
so everything that you see on my page is what I'm eating. Um, I often am eating more, but it's just for me, it doesn't feel so much like work because it's what I'm already doing.
When did you get in? When did you get a love of cooking?
I started watching the Barefoot Contessa. Do you know the Barefoot Contessa?
Yes, of
Yeah.
course I know that diva.
Yeah. So I started watching her in like 2002, 2004, like when I was in
Yeah.
high school.
Hmm.
And I at that time wasn't cooking, but I was just like learning from the show. And then it wasn't really until I went on to graduate school in 2008 and I had my own apartment and I wasn't eating like college campus food.
Uh-huh.
And I had a very small income that I was like,
Hmm.
I need to learn to cook. Like, if I want to have nutritious food, like, that's the only way that this is going to happen. I'm not going to be able to eat out. And I
Right.
also found, I love to, I like to travel and experience different cultures, and cooking was a way for me to travel. Like I could go to
Mm-hmm.
Italy, I could go to Japan or whatever for
Yeah,
dinner. And
absolutely.
I really appreciated that. It's kind of like learning how to live and be creative with like a fixed income.
Nice. That's very cool. I do remember the Barefoot Contessa. My grandmother really enjoyed watching Emerald Lagasse.
Yes, I remember
And
him.
so I began my love of watching cooking shows from her. So then I would just watch cooking shows as regular,
Yeah,
like a regular television show.
yeah, me too. Yeah.
But I think the thing that fascinated me the most was just the practice of making something from nothing, like taking bits and pieces and then cohesively, oh shit, I'm fucking up my mic. Cohesively putting things together and then just making them taste good. Like, how do you do that, right? Like, how do you know?
Yes.
So like the knowledge of like what's edible, but like peanut butter doesn't work on spaghetti. So like, like how, so I always found that really interesting.
Exactly. Yes.
I
Yeah.
mean,
No,
I
I do
could, I've never
think
really tried.
it's like it is an art. To me,
Mm.
it's like an art in which you're able, like, you're creating something from nothing and then you're consuming it, and it goes back to being nothing in a way. Like it's like the full circle of
Ah.
life in a way.
The full circle of life in your guts.
Yes.
So, in addition to being a love of cooking or having a love of
Yeah.
cooking, you also have a love of tarot reading. You
Yes.
read
Yeah.
tarot cards.
I do. And that's been really interesting.
Hmm.
So
How's that
I've read
going?
tarot cards since I was 16.
Oh, okay.
And
Why did you start doing tarot card? What was the interest in that?
I've always been interested in like metaphysical, psychic stuff. Like as a
Hmm.
kid, I would venture to the psychic fair, and like my mom would bring me to psychic fair, and like John Edwards and like all of those psychics that were on TV in the 90s. Like that was always on. So like I was very
Yeah.
interested in that. And I remember like one Christmas or birthday, like getting a gift certificate to a bookstore and
Nice.
going to that bookstore and finding this tarot deck that had with it a book that kind of it was for like beginners, like you didn't have to know anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I used that deck for like more than 15 years. Like it was like the deck that I had. And then it's been only in the past like 5 or so years that I started like buying different decks and using different decks for different purposes.
Mm-hmm.
But what's been really interesting is this has always been a part of my life, but I always kept it very private.
Mm.
And just like leather, it was like I realized I was in another closet. Like I put myself in this, closet around my spiritual practices. And it's been a practice for me to kind of just show that side of myself because I normally, from day to day life, like I don't
Yeah.
talk about those things, but it's like I spend so much time thinking about it. And
Hmm.
I love, I don't know if you've ever done this, but like there are tarot card readers on YouTube that I have followed for more than a decade, and I've learned so much from them in regards to just interpretation and practice and technique and things like that. And so
Mm-hmm.
that was something like I would just watch YouTube tarot card readers instead of watching TV. Like that was my thing I was doing like
Yeah.
once YouTube came around. So um
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm at this weird like juncture because I want to do something with it. Like I'm really um
You should
contemplating.
make the leather cook tarot cards.
Well, I'm working with a friend.
See? See?
We are
See.
making we are making cards. So he is doing the artwork, and I am in the process of writing up the interpretations.
Is the artwork
Um,
you?
no, so the artwork is like gay objects. So it's like a bottle of poppers, or it's a bottle of
Oh.
lube,
Oh.
or and so it's like these gay accoutrements, let's say.
Oh. Shallow, shallow.
And then I'm writing up the interpretation of how these poppers, if you're thinking about poppers, it's about
Mm-hmm.
expansion, it's about
Yup. It's about
excitement and things like
opening.
that. Yeah, it's opening.
Yes.
So I'm trying to
But
take these like mundane objects that exist in our sex life and bring them to like this higher like spiritual level or and it's
mm-hmm.
you could play with it like it definitely is
Yeah.
like open to interpretation, but that's the project I am working on at the moment with a friend of mine.
Okay, so I'm thinking it through. Marketing, branding. Have you ever thought about making the leather cook coffee?
I I don't know like of a coffee. Yes, I would love to do that. I need to find
Coffee.
out a place to partner.
But I'm a big fan of the matcha, which I don't think you've gotten around to making that video, have you?
I I have not. You are still on my mind.
Thank
I
you.
have
Thank you. I
bought
appreciate it.
something for that video. I bought a nice matcha set and I have the what do you call that? The little broom, not the broom,
Yeah,
the
the
do
whisk.
you know what I'm talking about? The
The
whisk.
whisk. Yes.
Um, so I bought like a very unique ceramic dish from Etsy, and
That's I'm very much looking forward to that video.
I've been waiting for
The perfect
this
matcha.
signal. Like I'm still perfecting my matcha technique. So
Okay.
once I feel like this is something I can replicate and
Yeah.
this is something I want other people to try, that's when the video is coming out. But like I'm still in the experimental phase of like I don't want it to be too bitter. I want it, but I don't want it to be like nothing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Yeah, no, I think that's
You,
great. It's
do
all
you have
about
a favorite
quality
way that you have
control
your
with you,
matcha?
huh?
Yeah.
What?
Yes. Do you have a favorite way that you have your matcha?
Yes, I like it iced. I like it with oat milk. And that's about it. So far, the place in town that I feel has probably the best matcha oat milk latte is Blue Bottle.
Okay.
Do you have Blue Bottle where you at?
No, I've had Blue Bottle though at
Like Blue Bottle coffee?
in New York City at Penn Station. That was the last, so that's where I've had Blue Bottle at.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've tried to like replicate it. I've even went to the store and like bought their expensively small tin of matcha. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna treat myself. Like I'm gonna learn how to make this. And I figured out what oat milk brand they use. And I've tried to
Yes.
replicate it at home. And I don't know how they make it. It might be the
Mm,
machine they're using or the technique, but it always comes out so much more delicious when they make it. I don't know what it is.
mm.
And also too, the secret too is they have like a simple syrup.
Oh,
And I was trying to figure out what the sugar was. So I like went online and I was
mm.
like, what's it? Because it makes a difference that sugar when you add it. It's good.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
The other thing that I'm trying to figure out how to replicate, and I got pretty close,
Hmm.
was I've had this tahini latte,
Oh, you got me already. I'm in.
and
I'm in.
it's so good. Um, yeah, so that recipe needs to be finalized.
Oh, it's your recipe. You're working on it?
Well, I'm working on it. Like I found a few recipes online
Got
and
it.
I tried them out.
Let me ask you a question. I've always been
Yeah.
interested. How do our recipes can recipes be plagiarized?
That's a
Is
okay.
there like
I'm
a
pretty sure I
copyright
looked this
on mac
up.
and cheese? I don't understand.
No, I'm pretty sure like the ingredients are not copyrighted.
Right.
What is copyrighted is the like you can plagiarize like the exact phrasing for the recipe,
Uh-huh.
but
But can
like
you copy the exact recipe? Like if you had a recipe and I
yeah,
basically just wiped it from like your website or whatever and then just put
yeah.
my name on it, is that copyright? Can you come after me and be like, that's my recipe, bro?
That's a gray area. I'm pretty sure
Interesting.
that there's
Just wondering,
something.
curious.
Yeah, no, it's a great question because I know that there's like I've seen some articles come out lately where that's an issue where like someone has like
Copywritten? Like,
taken a
oh,
ton of
stolen.
recipes
Yeah,
from
and they're making
someone.
money. So basically,
Yeah,
they're like making their own cookbook off of your
yeah.
work. That's crazy.
But like, and I've also wondered about that in regards to me because I am often using other people's recipe. But what I try to do is I try to put a picture of the book so people can be like, yeah, that's the book. I want to learn more about that. And I feel like
I do
hopefully that,
appreciate you do that. Yeah, I've seen you do that. You like put the book, and also too, I've seen like the actual like cook respond back and like heart it
yes,
and like be like, that's amazing. So that's
yeah.
great.
I mean, one
Yeah,
time I have Nigella Lawson wrote
I think
back and
that
she was like, this is a nice cake. I was
yeah.
like, oh my God, I
Did you
could not
die?
believe that.
Did you die?
I was like, I don't know if I need to do this anymore. Like, I don't know if I could achieve a higher level of
That
success
was
than
another one that I
Nigella
love to
Lawson.
watch. Nigella, because she was such a babe. I mean, come on, like
Yeah.
back in the day, she was a babe. But you have a great following on Instagram.
Mhm.
His handle is Steve the Leather Cook, the Leather Cook. He's Tom of Finland in the Kitchen, International Food and Recipes. What does the blue F4574 stand for?
Oh, so Bluff is
Oh,
a
bluff.
Breachers and Leather fan club, essentially uniform fan club.
Uh-huh.
So it's essentially this, I guess, community is the best way of describing it.
Yeah.
And you submit, in order to be part of this community, you submit photos of yourself in leather. Like you have to be in like full head to toe leather. And then
Mm-hmm.
there's a guy, I think his name's like Nigel in the UK, and he receives all the applications and then he like approves people. And then you get on this website and it's just a bunch of other like leather guys. And
Okay.
you can see like it's like its own social media website is
Yeah.
like I've never seen anything like this. They they have created they've put in so much work in creating such an interesting space where it's easy for you to connect with other guys. You can see where everyone is and like you can
Yeah,
see
it's like
events,
it's
you
like the
know.
sniffies
So
of the leather community.
I guess in some ways, yeah, like people will like list like all the different leather events that they're going to go to that year, and then you can
Yeah.
easily send messages and be like, "Hey, I would love to meet up with you." And so it's like a its own kind of separate gay leather social media network.
Sure. Is
Yeah.
that where you find all the boys?
So, some of them,
I was just uh-huh.
I would say since I started doing Instagram, like posting on Instagram, I
Yeah.
find a lot of my guys on Instagram, to be honest. Like Instagram's my hookup app.
I find, yeah, I do. I find the DMs in the Instagrams much more not formal, but like good mannered. Where
Yes,
like they'll reach out and be like, "Hey, I love your content. Like my name is blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Can we talk?" We're versus X and Telegram where people are just like pound me. Just
yes.
like, what? Yeah, that's great. No, but I was gonna say, like, have you ever competed in anything leather? Like, isn't there like a Mr.
No,
International leather?
I've not competed, and mainly because I live in an area where there's not a title that's like currently available
Oh,
to
available.
compete.
Got
So in
it.
order for me to compete, I would need to travel. Like I need to plan an event in advance to be like, all right, I'm going to travel to Boston or I'm going to travel to, P-Town in New York City on this
Uh-huh.
weekend and compete.
Uh-huh.
And often, like ADHD, like I'm just not planning that far in advance.
Yeah.
But but typically people will compete in a regional title and
Mm-hmm.
then go on to the international Mr. Leather and compete on that
Hmm.
scale.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, I feel like if you'd ever want to do that, I feel like you could be successful.
It's something that I have considered.
Uh-huh.
And
Nice.
what I have been, I don't want to say this, the elders that I have spoken to about this, they have posited to me, do you think it would, like, do you think you would be doing more than what you already are doing? Like
Oh, gotcha, gotcha,
and
gotcha.
they're like, is it really going to add to what you're doing?
Sure,
And
sure.
so if the answer is yes, then I think it's a worthwhile venture for me to go down that road.
Right.
So I really had to spend time to think about how best I would utilize such a title, and
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
in
mm-hmm.
addition to what I'm already trying to do online.
Yeah. No, it sounds,
Yeah,
I think it'd be fun. Just try it out.
totally.
You
Yeah.
already got you got the look. Have you ever been to Folsom?
I've been to Folsom in Berlin, but not in San Francisco.
Whoa, what was that like?
Well, it was
I want to
interesting
go to
because it
Berlin
was
so bad.
still during COVID. So it
Oh,
was like
bummer.
2021. So I think it was like muted down in some
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
ways,
mm-hmm. Hmm.
but it's not
Gotcha.
like San Francisco. Like when you walked around Folsom in Berlin, like it's not like you're seeing people have sex in like I imagine people are having sex in the daylight in San Francisco because I've seen videos, but I
Sure,
don't know if that's normal or
sure,
what.
sure.
Have you been?
Well, I asked because this year I'm going for the first
Oh,
time. I'm very
cool.
excited. I'm going. Oh, I can't say much about it right now. I can't say much. I all I know is that I'm going, and I was just looking really forward to it. I've always wanted to go.
Mm.
Um,
Do you have your
I
outfit picked out?
no, so I need like I want to go, but I don't want to like. Well, I see. I don't know. Like I was under the impression that Folsom is like just like leather, like it's a mostly leather thing, right? But it's not. Like it's all just all kink, right? So like
I think in the
my
past years it's expanded. I think you're right. Like it's,
okay. So like is the dress code is the unspoken dress code to go in leather?
I
No,
think
right?
leather or rubber, something fetishy, sexy.
Okay, got it. So that is the look. That's the moment. That's to
I
do
mean,
that.
I think you could totally wear like denim. Like if you wanted to have a denim vest, like how you have on in like
I
hot
would definitely
denim
sport my
jeans, like,
my leather harness for sure. I have
mm,
a J is it JD Maxx? Marks Max? It's I follow him on
not
Instagram,
sure.
but I bought like a he makes he makes like really beautiful harnesses for the thick boys. And so I was like, oh, let me
Oh,
get one.
cool.
And so like I got one. And it's like the harness that connects to a cock ring.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I would definitely have the pieces in mind, and I have other pieces too.
Mm,
But I want it to look cool. So yeah, so I'm gonna do my research
yeah.
because I really want to show up, especially the reason why I'm going. So yeah, I'm
And
excited.
that's when is that? Is that July?
That is
What is that?
September,
Okay.
sep the last weekend of September, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, going into the first weekend or first week of October.
That should be exciting.
When was the last time you went to Folsom?
Well, in Berlin was
Oh, Berlin,
2021.
that's right. So you never been to
Yeah.
the San Francisco one then?
No, I've never been, period.
You, we should go. Come
I know.
meet me this year. It'll be really cool. I'm really excited about it. I haven't that I'm excited about Folsom, but also I'm excited to go back to San Francisco. I haven't been back to San Francisco in a while. My brother went to Berkeley, and so
Okay.
I would travel up there often because he would be like, "Oh, come hang out." And I always like the vibe. I always thought
Mm,
like Berkeley was its own universe. It was weird. Like when you're so
yeah.
young, you're like you're kind of first experiencing things outside of where you are, and it just seemed
Right.
like a whole other world.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I like Berkeley. It's chill. It's hippy
Mm.
dippy.
Yeah, San Francisco is on my list of places to visit.
What other places on your list?
You
Two.
know what's been
Uh-huh.
really calling me lately? I know this
What?
is like totally left field, is I really want to go to Slovenia and
Okay.
Croatia.
Croatia, yes. I can see why Croatia. The men there are
But
fucking fine.
I think
But what
Slovenia would
about
be
Slovenia?
really pretty.
Isn't
Like I
that where
think it would be
vampires are
like,
from?
no, I think that's like Transylvania. I think that's Romania.
Bro, that was fucking dumb, dude. Oh shit. Oh my God. Wait, why Slovenia?
I think it would just be really like pretty and underrated. Like I kind of hate
Yeah.
going to places and
Hmm.
like having it just filled with tourists. Like I like traveling and having like when I'm in Europe, like going to the authentic restaurant, not like the tourist trap restaurant. Like, and I feel
Yeah.
like traveling to Slovenia, like because they have fewer tourists, it would just be more real. Like I
Mm.
wouldn't be sucked into like different tourist traps. Like, and
Yeah.
I, and again, I don't know if I'm just making things up, but this is just like my thought. Yeah, something new.
No, I think that's cool. And I think it would be a really good opportunity to learn how to make Slovenian
Yes.
food and
Yeah.
desserts.
And
I'm always really interested in other countries' desserts.
we're totally,
I got the
totally,
biggest sweet
yes.
tooth. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah. And I love traveling and collecting cookbooks. That's like one of my things.
Of
So,
course you do.
you know, I still need to like work on my cookbook, but um, my what I'm doing on Instagram is like sometimes taking cookbooks that are written in other languages and translating them and then, giving people the recipe. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's something that I really enjoy.
Yeah. Giving people
Yeah.
recipes. And giving him that dick.
Just on X
Just on eggs. I was
and
remember
just for
going through
fans.
your I remember going through your um I remember going through your I think it was probably X. You were like in some orgy or something, and I was like, oh, he's really going for it, man. Like I was like, since the time I knew him,
That
I was just like, I had no idea, but I was like, there he
it's
is.
so funny because that particular orgy, that's the only orgy I've ever been a part of, right? And I
Mm,
have friends here, like multiple friends of mine in Syracuse. They have all of them have been like, "Oh yeah, I was like scrolling through X and I went watching this orgy, and then you showed up."
yeah,
And so many of my friends have been like, "Yeah, I stumbled upon watching you fuck a guy in this orgy," and I'm like, "I hope you enjoyed it.
yeah,
I hope you enjoyed it." Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, it's what it's there for. Hope you got your jollies
right.
off. I think that's fun. I don't know. It's fun to watch your friends naked. It's fun to watch them have a good time.
I
It's like,
have to
oh,
say,
it's like
yes,
another beautiful side or expression of who they are as a person,
yes,
as a lover, as a friend, as a colleague, whomever. Um,
100%.
yeah, and it's just
Yeah,
it's a really great thing to see. It's like I want to see my bro bust a nut. He's gonna feel great.
right.
Yeah,
I think that's something really unique about the gay experience of like
true. Facts.
we're so open about like
Mm-hmm.
within the first minutes of like showing our dick,
Mm-hmm.
right? But we
Mm-hmm.
won't talk about our family trauma, like
Mm-hmm.
there's like or like our job or like some things that are very like like the opening conversations for like straight people. It's like gay
Yeah.
people don't want to talk about that, but we'll cheer each other on for sex and like exchange like ass and dick and
Yeah.
pictures,
It's a
like
very gay boy thing to do. Very gay.
yeah,
It's just not gay boy, but just very fucking queer in general. It's part of our culture. I mean, we literally
it
have a thing
is.
called hookup culture.
Yes.
Like it's like
Yeah.
rules and like unspoken like code. Like everybody knows you don't do that. Like everybody knows you don't, it's just like it's just like part of our aesthetic. And people love
Yes.
it. People
Yeah.
fucking love it for it, like people pop stars fucking make songs about that shit. We know it's good.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And
Well,
and I have to say, I don't know if you experience this, but like, now that I put up videos on
mm-hmm.
X,
Mm-hmm.
now I'm obsessed with like porn compilations. Like that's typically like that's
Love a good porn
I love
compilation.
watching porn compilations. And then it's always so like it's a unique thing when then I'm watching a porn compilation and then I'm in it. Like I didn't know that I was going to be in this, and the guy's just taking a video from X, and like I'm jerking off, and then all of a sudden I'm on the screen, and I'm like, wait, am I so high that I'm recording myself, but I forgot that I'm recording myself on the screen? Like, and it's the mind fuck
Whoa.
thing. Like,
That's fucking out your head, bro. Be careful. Easy. Not too much. But I've been in that situation too where I'm like watching the video. I was at a Bay party once and like I was like hanging around and everyone's like, oh, and they looked and it was me. And it was like a compilation
yes,
of like dudes baiting. So I was like, what
yes,
another? And I was like, oh,
yes,
I feel like I've made it. Feels good.
right, right,
It's just beautiful to see. Like it's just like because then it's like people claiming you like you are it, you're part of the community,
yes,
you're contributing, you're
yes,
hot,
yeah.
like people are jerking off to you, like people know who you are, and it's a wonderful
Yes.
feeling. Yeah, and
And
I love
it's,
when my
you
bros
know,
do that.
I think all like every gay man probably has certain performers or people in the gay sex space, gay porn space that have
Yeah,
like been such a fantasy or something that like was such a an eye-opening thing, right?
yeah.
And I mean, I have several that come to mind, but it's really interesting now that we're at that space where I might be that for someone else, like, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a really cool responsibility to be that kind of
Yeah.
inspiration or muse or like just someone who's opening those doors for people, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But I think yes, you're right. And I think it's really sexy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that. I had a thought, but I was like, no, let's not talk about that.
And and what's interesting is we're at this, I think, really unique place with porn in that it's not controlled by the studios. Like it's really just like people at home.
Yeah.
Like it's just like people like you and I, like just people that are not affiliated with the studios who just are just like, hey, like this is what I'm
Yeah.
into. Like I think that's also cool, like the
Yes.
normalization of
Yes.
it, you know?
Yes. Well, I feel like we're living in the V for Vendetta of our time. Like the people are calling the shots now, you know what I'm saying? And
I've
it goes
never
with
watched it.
porn. You never watched V for Vendetta?
No,
Oh,
I have not.
bitch,
Sorry.
do yourself a fucking favor. That movie, it's now like it's so spot on. It's so the message
Okay.
and it's so great. Anyway, well, I won't spoil it for you
I'll watch
then.
it, but you can spoil it for me. I
It's
let's
just
keep the
it's
conversation.
the theme is like governments should be scared of their people. Like governments don't
Mm,
hold the power. Like we are more powerful. Like if we
sure.
unite, if we can overtake.
Yes.
And it's like symbolic. It's like you know, you have to ingrain it over time. Like people have to believe it, and it's a great film. Anyway, that's like the
Yeah.
messaging. And so all that to say, it's like we the people are calling our shot. We tell you what we want to see is sexy. Do you know what I'm saying? We tell
Yes.
you
Yes.
about the movies we want to watch. I want to see my
Yes.
brown black ass face on television just as much as his white
Yes.
boy. So let's get
Yes.
it together. And so I think it's I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
People on the internet are fucking crazy, and I'm here for it.
Oh, 100%. And I feel like there's this like feedback loop of like, you know, you
Yes.
see a creator and you're like really into it. And then like also because
Uh,
they're just like you and me, you can communicate and, you know, have a back and forth conversation. And then
yeah.
that like propels
Yeah.
you to try something new. And then someone else sees that. And
Mhm.
it's like this really interesting like chain reaction, I think that happens in regards to just like I know that this is probably like really really fucking crazy to say, but I do think that porn and just sex in general is a form of like self-exploration and can facilitate like healing through,
Yes.
you know, like
Yes.
through all of these orgasms. Like I don't know, like sometimes I have an orgasm and it like opens up a door and I have like I have new thoughts, I have new things that come to mind, you know, and I feel like the people in power have told us there's a thing called porn addiction because they want to keep us in our place, right? And they want to
Yeah.
keep us from not expanding, right? They
Yeah.
want to keep us like fearful and shamed about
Yes.
feeling pleasure. You know,
Yes.
like that's my conspiracy theory.
When you get off this call, you need to go watch this movie
I
because everything you just fucking said is this movie.
know.
Like it's all about control. They're trying to control us. Like that's why they spill all
Yes.
these fucking narratives. That's why they're fucking shooting these pop stars up to fucking space. They're trying to distract
Right.
us. I don't care
Yes.
about you, Katy Perry.
Right.
Who gives a fuck? I got other shit to fry, like getting my tax return on time or getting these motherfucking student loans forgived. You know what I'm saying? Come
Right.
on, like
Right.
fucking throw me a fucking bone or at least
And
a
we're
piece
gonna
of
waste billions
pie.
of dollars for like
I
an
don't want it.
11-minute fucking flight. Like,
Stupid, dumb. Give me that
yeah.
money. Why don't you give it to the fucking people next door? They need it pretty bad. Um, do you know who oh, I forgot the name of the photographers, and I can't turn the book. Anyway, I'll send you a link later. I feel like you would really like their
Mm,
work. You could take
mm,
inspiration from the photography. Do you enjoy
okay.
photography?
I do. I do. I mean I take all of my photos on Instagram. So that is something that I enjoy and I've been a model before, like on and off, since like
Oh,
2012.
I'm talking to a
Yeah.
motherfucking model. Ford represented Wilhelmina. No, I'm kidding.
N- Never represented.
I'm just joshing you. No, that's cool. I feel like I was talking to the Barefoot Hunter on another pod, and
Mm,
we were talking about how like as you do social media, like you kind of have to be your own everything. And we are talking about like
yes.
photography and like I just really like the photography because as a photography major myself, I was admiring like his use of light and composition. More the use
Mm,
of light. I was like, oh, you could tell that you're invested. Like it's just not some like crazy shot. Which the same with
yes.
you. I feel like
Thank
you
you.
do like curate your shit.
Not to
It's
be a little
very
bitch, but like
oh,
I
please be a little bitch.
I'm always so annoyed when I give my camera to someone to say, "Hey, can you take a photo of me?" And it's
Huh?
like I could always do better than like almost always, like 95% of the time.
Yeah,
The photo shit when you give it to someone to be like, "Hey, can you take this photo?" And I'm like,
of
"D-
course it
have
is.
you ever taken a photo before? Like, what is so hard about?" And
Like,
you
do
know,
you
like,
watch? Do you have
yeah,
eyes? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
like I was at the Grand
But the
Canyon last
uh-huh.
week and like a
Hmm.
woman came up to me and was like, "Can you take a photo of me?" And I fucking take took like 20 different photos at different angles and like was moving around and she's like, "These are great." And
Oh.
I'm like, "Because that's the work you need to do. You need to
Oh,
like sorry, I'm like going off on this, but it's like always
damn, not you reading the tourist. The bitch is just trying to have a nice vacation and you're just over here like your photos
well,
suck.
I'm not talking about
Hire
her. I'm
me,
just
huh?
talking about like when I give it to a stranger and I always
No,
have to
you
like
got
I like look at the like if I'm by
you
myself, I'm always like looking around, being like, who looks like they're on social media and knows how to take a photo? Because like otherwise it's like shit. It's so bad.
you got so sassy when you were telling that story. I was like, damn, he's invested. He's emotionally tied to fucking big pictures. No, but I was gonna say it's never gonna look as good as when you take it yourself because you know your angles.
Yes. Yeah.
But also too being like an artistic individual that I would say you are, right? Yeah, I would say that you're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
artistic, you have an eye. It's people just don't have the knowledge. People,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm always just surprised. Like, what do you mean? You can't take a picture. Everyone has an iPhone, but you know how to take that snap, you little slut.
Right. Right.
Yeah. What are your big plans for the summer? Summer's coming up. Anything fun?
Well, I am going to Palm Springs.
Ooh,
Uh,
when?
I'm going,
I'll meet you. Let's hang.
it's like in 10 days or so. Like,
Oh no, I
mm,
can't do that.
and yeah, I'm going for a week and
That's cool.
then
Are you
I'm
gonna shoot
going to
another
go to
orgy video?
IML. Yes.
Okay, cool. Called it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm gonna shoot another orgy video and collaborate with some other guys in Palm Springs
Sure,
potentially.
sure.
And then I'm gonna go from Palm Springs to IML because
Where's the IML?
IML's in Chicago.
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
so I'll be in Chicago for Memorial Day weekend,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and then other than that, like I'm not planning. I actually something that's up in the air that I
Mm-hmm.
haven't solidified is I'm thinking. I don't know if you went to this, but I'm thinking about going to the what's it called, like the masturbation fest or the masturbation
Convention.
convention in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. I've heard it. Yes, it happened
Yeah,
last year. They're doing it again this
yeah.
year.
So in
Yeah.
thinking about doing that, I haven't like solidified
I don't know
everything
when.
around that trip,
Yeah, I don't know when that
but I think
is.
it's like August. If I think it might be the beginning of August or end of July, somewhere around there.
I probably won't do that. I'll probably just save all the fun that I'm gonna have for Folsom, I think. It's gonna be a
That
long
makes
week.
sense.
I'm gonna be there for like a week and a half. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And do
Yeah.
other stuff with other people. I'm excited. Hey, tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
So you can find me on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, on
Yes,
X, on
YouTube.
Just for Fans, on OnlyFans, on Bait World, the Leather Cook. I also have a Patreon under a different name called Beta Encourage that focuses on audio porn and audio simulations.
That's right. What do you do? Do you just read like porn books?
So what I do lately, there's a few things I do for that. One
Uh-huh.
is sometimes when I'm jerking off, I get like a fantasy that pops up in my head.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes I will sit down and I will just talk through the fantasy. And then
Mm-hmm.
I'll add like sound effects to
Uh-huh.
that.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes it's more just like almost like a podcast of just like talking
Uh-huh.
about a fantasy or talking about an experience that I went through.
Mm.
Then
Okay.
what I've been doing for the past year is using AI. So what I mean by that is I use a website where I can write scripts and I write kind of this narration in different voices. So sometimes there's like a story or there's like, an older guy coaching a younger guy type of thing. And
Mm.
I can use the AI to create these different voices and modulate the voices as I write the
Ah,
script, which is kind of interesting.
that is interesting.
Um, and sometimes I like to sample things from SoundCloud that like inspire me and then inject that into the clip.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say it's mostly like a mashup of my voice, AI voice, things that I am like working through or things that I'm like fantasizing about and
Yeah.
kind of just exploring that. But yeah,
Nice. All right. And that's on Patreon.
that's on Patreon.
You gotta pay
Yeah.
money for that good shit.
Yes, yes. And I mean, like, yeah, I don't even want to go down the whole Patreon thing, but I ran into issues with Patreon a few months ago because I was using the word daddy, and I had to remove any reference of the word daddy in any text, in anything on Patreon because of what it could potentially insinuate. That and I was like,
What? Insinuate incest? Have they not seen
yes,
the White
yes.
Lotus?
Exactly. And I was like,
Stupid.
you're trying to represent yourself as like a gay positive, community,
Yeah.
and now you're flagging me because I used the word daddy. So I had to do some
Everything
like
is so
major changes
conditional.
around that, but
Fuck Patreon.
it's a good service. But and I kind of just had to take that
It's not a good
compromise
service
and
that's trying to censor you. That's literally your shtick.
well, yeah, but it is what it is. Until I take that material and like become
Whatever, Patreon. If I
an
fucking see you,
independent.
it's on site, bitch. You're getting a fucking right uppercut, hoe. Whoppa! Don't be fucking taking money from my friends' pockets. It's our shit. That's our culture, man. Daddies. I love daddies. I'm just kidding. Hey, thanks for taking the time to chat with me. I
Yeah,
loved
thank you for
every
inviting
moment
me.
of it. The visuals are stunning.
Thank you.
You got the hoops. Remember when we got our nipples pierced around the same time?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You
I
got
am
yours first, and then I was just like, "Oh, you look so good with them. I'm gonna." So you
yes, I
inspired me to
remember
get my
that.
titties pierced.
I'm gonna get bigger hoops in the end of May.
Nice.
Yeah. These are currently an 8 gauge and I'm gonna go to 6.
I was in the. I had to get them. I had to get my left nipple re-pierced. I was in
Oh,
the shower and I was washing, and my loofah got caught on the barbell, and it just
oh,
ripped it off.
yeah.
And then the
Oh,
jewelry fell down the drain, and I was like, ah, I was freaking out. And then one was like, they're gonna close really fast, so get your ass back in here. And she
right, right.
fucking redid it. Good times. They're all, for the most part, they're all healed. It took forever to heal up, though. It took like a year and a couple of months for them to fully heal.
Mm. It took the first time I got it pierced,
The first time,
because I have, yeah, like I got my bars, right? So that was the
right?
first time.
Oh, got it. And then you
And then the
increased it.
hoops,
Sure, sure,
yeah.
sure, sure, sure.
So the first time I would say like maybe it was like a month and a half or 2 months. Like it healed pretty quickly.
Damn.
But I think it's just because I spent like a decade torturing my nipples that like they were already like used to having to heal. Like there was
Sure.
already a lot of blood
Sure.
there. I think that it just healed.
Sure.
And then when I got the rings, I thought it was going to be like a fast process, but it was still like another like month and a half, 2 months, like once I went up. So yeah.
Sensitive titties.
And now like there's still a limit to what you can do or like play with them. Like some guys really go really hard
Yeah, I
on
know.
them, and I'm like, hey, like
Easy.
the thing is like they're pierced, so they actually need less hardness. Like you can get by with a softer touch.
Yes, Daddy, teach them
Yes.
boys.
Yes.
All right, that's enough for this episode. Thank you all so much for listening. Thanks again to my guest, Another Cook. I am your boy Beastly Bader. You can find me on all socials under that. Bader spelled B8R. And I will see you on the next episode in 2 weeks. The Bate Escape podcast. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, what's up? It's Beastly. Did you love my conversation with the Leather Cook? I hope that you did. I sure did. They're so amazing and funny, and very sexy. If you haven't seen the video version of this episode, I suggest you go to YouTube and take a sneak peek because you'll see something really nice. But yeah, go follow the Leather Cook on all their socials. You can find them on Instagram and X and Blue Skies and OnlyFans, and also just for fans. And they also have a really cool Patreon that you can check out. I will have a link to where you can follow them in the description box of this episode. So thanks so much for listening. Again, if you could like, share, subscribe, comment, follow, leave me a voice message. I do have a link in the description. Ask me anything. Ask me questions. If you want to know something about gooning, solo sexuality, or just want to say something really fun, leave me a voice message. I'll play it in the pod in a future episode. And it'll be really fun for the community to hear more voices in the Bader community. So I encourage you all to do that. Again, thanks so much for listening. I'm your boy BC, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye.